All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the LGU podcast. My name is Dustin. I am the owner and CEO of Game On LLC. We got a big crowd tonight. We got NJ from New Jersey. Rod, say hi.
Hey, you guys.
We got Jake from MES Events and MES Live TV in
Woohoo!
Michigan. We got Lewis and Joseph from Vanquish. Say hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
And we have Sean from Boston with NEG.
What's up?
Welcome. So tonight,
What's up, guys?
this is our third podcast, and if you're new to the show, we do this once a week, once every other week, whenever we can, because we're all busy as hell. But it's basically just to recap past events, talk about what's coming up, and everybody that we're affiliated with and what LGU is all about. We're all about the community. We're all about having a good time, doing events, and we want to welcome everybody to the show. And I'll just hand it over to Rod from there to kick this thing off. Rod?
All right. All right. We just came off of an event on February 6th that was located in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Bensalem is maybe about 23, 24 minutes outside of Philadelphia. We had not been in that area for a couple years. So, I was a little apprehensive about, what it was going to be as far as attendance, as far as energy, etc. The event exceeded my expectations, definitely. We had 16 PS4 teams, I believe 13 Xbox One teams. We had a bunch of 2v2s, like a glut, at least almost 60 teams of 2v2s. So
Wow.
it was a great success. The one thing that we found out, and using the data and stuff, and me and Lewis and I, he'll be on in a couple minutes. We talked about this. It was pretty much a new crowd, a new audience, a new community. We counted maybe 3 teams that crossed over from our 40-team event that we had in New York in December. There were about 3 teams, maybe three and a half. So we're talking about 12 kids, 13, almost 200 kids. So it was fantastic. A lot of parents there spectating. There were people in wheelchairs spectating, all kind of different things. A lot of spectators were there also. It was just it was a blessing, and I was surprised. I was surprised, but it was a very pleasant surprise. We definitely want to use that venue again. We're going to be back there in April, and we want to rotate between the Philadelphia area and the New York area as far as King of the Couch NJROD events go. Um, we had Sean Chase was out there. We had from Boston. We had Lewis out there from Vanquish, and these guys are going to talk about some things as far as how the event went. One of the things that was a big surprise was the Xbox One crowd was a lot bigger than I anticipated. Um, if you add the fours plus the doubles, there might have been more Xbox One players in total if you add everybody, the doubles and everything else. So that was a pleasant surprise. They were very hyped up. There's a lot of energy over there, and we were very happy. The event, as far as efficiency, we had a couple. The power goes out when you have 70 systems, whatever we had. The power will go out here and there. So it went out in the beginning. We lost about 10 or 15 minutes in time, but everything else was pretty much flawless as far as the execution of the event. Everything went smooth. We were done with the fours by I'm gonna say Sean or Lewis, you can chime in. I think we were done
Yep.
with the fours by 7:30 or 8 o'clock or something. It was very
Uh, yeah, it was probably around probably around I'd say maybe
yeah. So we were
7:30.
done with the fours around 7. The entire event was done by 10 o'clock. We were done. So we're talking about 39 teams with combined 39 teams of 4 and over 50 teams of 2. The fours were double elimination, and we were out of there by 10 o'clock. So I'm very proud of that, and I think we can definitely build on this area, for the future. One thing about when you're having events and stuff, you get different perspectives from different people. So I want to just introduce Sean. from Boston. He wants to talk a little bit about his experience. He was working at the door in the beginning, greeting a lot of the people, and let's see what he has to say about the event. Good, Sean, it's
Yeah,
all yours.
yeah. So, in the beginning when I was at the door, a lot of people initially thought I was the bouncer or, no, but in all honesty, man, I just came there. It was my first time. It was actually well overdue. I was supposed to meet with Rod for the past couple events, but I couldn't make it out there. So I finally made it out there. I brought the Boston crew with me. I actually brought a team with me. And I was honestly surprised. I was surprised at the venue that he got. I was just surprised that I kind of see Rod as a mentor. So I was surprised at how he handled the situation, how he handled the event, how he set up everything, and how the event ran so smoothly. I was also surprised at the amount of people that came. Normally, just the demographic as well. You got kids of all ages, really young kids too, and they were actually a couple of the groups of younger kids were the best teams that were playing in the Xbox One events. But overall, I think it was a great experience. I mean, everybody was having fun. Everybody was well mannered. Um, I enjoyed it a lot. I've been to a couple so far. Back in a couple of years ago, I went to one of Dustin's event, participating in it. Never not thought that I would get into like the business aspect of things, but um, I thought that he got a lot of teams, especially for not being there for 2 years, and he's just gonna he's gonna continue building upon that. He got kids that there were a couple of kids I talked to in Pennsylvania that probably they live about 15, 20 minutes away that didn't even know that he existed. And when I talked to them a little bit more, I was a little bit surprised. I was shocked because I say this every time. When I was running my events in Boston, every single time I ran an event, I would get maybe 15 to 20 new kids hit me up on Twitter saying, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were around." So it's like after every event, it's a constant battle of getting more and more kids, finding more kids that are coming out of the woodworks in those areas. So I think that I think that by him going to that same area in April, it's only going to be a lot bigger, larger crowd, and it's going to be more exciting to see more competition go there and to see how everything pans out. But as far as the event goes, man, I had a great experience. Like I said, I've been to a couple before, and it was probably one of the best I've been to, as far as logistics and how everything was ran. Mike taught me a lot as well. He's not in this call, but Mike, Rod, they all taught me a lot, and I was proud to be next to them, and I was proud to be next to his name. I've heard a lot about him when I was in high school, and it was almost an honor just to meet him in person for finally years later, and actually get to work with him. So um, that's pretty much what I got from it. I met Lewis in person as well for the first time, and it was just an overall great experience. I met a lot of new people. I increased my following. I increased my community and my family, and and now I talk to these kids that I met at NJROD every day. So it's really amazing how many people that you can meet at one event, and how many people that you can retain from those events. Every subsequent one, especially when you run a smooth event like that, you'll notice that you'll have such a solid community and support system backing you. And I think that's what Rod has. And I think he did a great job at that event. Everything, from check-in to check-out, from, you know, the rule sets and everything like that. I think that the next time he goes there in April, he's going to have an even bigger turnaround, and I hope to be there to witness that as well, and just to see him continually succeed in areas outside of the norm, outside of New York, and in an area where you wouldn't think there's a lot of people, but you know, they're actually, they like I said, they came out of the woodworks, and there were a lot of people, more than expected. Even Rod said that, and congratulations to him, by the way. And I look forward to seeing what him and Dustin and Jacob and everybody else here in this talk um, have coming in the future. I'm really interested to see what you guys have coming, because it's going to be amazing to work with you guys.
All right, thanks, Sean. Stick around because we're going to go around the room before we leave. We'll get everybody to say a couple things. Lewis was there from Vanquish. I'm going to have him say a couple words about his experience and what he was doing there. All right, Lewis, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for having me here. Yeah, I mean, this was my second NJROD or King of the Couch event. I've never been to one before. Like Sean, I've heard about them before, but I've never actually been to one. I never had aspirations to become a competitive player myself. But yeah, definitely the one thing that I took out from this event from the last one, and the difference was the Xbox crowd. A lot more younger kids there than the last event you had in December. A lot more parents there. That was for sure. I was not expecting that, because the first event there was only maybe one or two parents that I saw in December, and in this one there was at least 10 parents all sitting around watching their kids play, and they came up to us, asked us questions about how things are organized, how they run. Um, Stuff like that. So I think that to me shows that there's definitely a new crowd that came out there that have never heard of you, and obviously they've never heard of you because they're very young. I would imagine they're 11 or 12 years old. So um, I can only imagine that they had a good time there, and that they're going to want to convince their parents to come back out next time you're out there. And so that's one thing that I saw, which is a good thing, because the older your regulars get, the less the more responsibility in life they're going to have, and the less chances they're going to have to come to your event. So you need to get a younger crowd, and that's what was going on at your event this time. And then the other thing that really surprised me was the amount of Xbox players you got over there, and the amount of excitement that there was around the Xbox. I don't know if that has. I don't know if the PS4 side, um, if the fact that it's established local players that have been coming to your events for a long time, maybe that kind of tamers their excitement a little bit. And then since you have a lot of new players come in for this event, maybe that's what created that big of an excitement. So that was pretty cool to watch. And like Sean said, I got to meet a couple new people. I met Sean for the first time. I met the guys from Torch Gaming. Really cool guys, very loud and hyped up guys. They have a good mentality as to what their plan is with their organization. So that was cool to see. And overall, there was more interaction. I wasn't there for very long. The first event, I actually had to leave a little earlier. This time around, I stayed for the whole thing, and it was definitely a good experience. And I mean, there's no doubt about it. You run your events very smooth, very fast, and I don't think anyone in this area can come close to that. So you got to give a lot of respect to Rod, because he's been doing this for a long time. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, and I really hope to come a lot more times and be involved in what's going on with the LGU League and MES Game On and so forth. So I'm really psyched.
All right, Lewis, can you talk a little bit about the Vanquish, and then you can introduce your partner Joe?
Yeah, so me and Joe were both co-owners at Vanquish Gaming. We're an esports organization that is mostly known for being a Call of Duty competitive organization. We have had, teams go out to pretty much every Call of Duty event for the past year or so. And now we have a CS:GO team that we're very excited about, and have a good. I think we have a good team that will take us to another level. And this week they're actually playing in a pro tournament placement for CEVO, if anyone that understands CS:GO, which is a very big thing. If they can manage to get out of this tournament, they'll actually be invited to a London Gfinity event, I believe in April or May. It's a $125,000 tournament. But but we're more than just an esports organization. You know, we have YouTube, we have a stream team, a Twitch channel, and other things that that's why people have seen me at these events, at Rod's events. We have another thing called Esports Prospects that I'll let Joe speak more about because he's the more hands-on technical guy when it comes to that.
All right, Joe.
All right, so basically, Esports Prospects, I'll branch out into that in just a second here, but we're definitely going to be working hand in hand with LGU for Esports Prospects. But our little baby that kind of evolved into that is the Vanquish Cups that we're doing. We've done them for some of the NJROD events. Hopefully, we'll do more for MES and Game On and NEG in the near future, which is basically gives you an opportunity to win some cool prizes, maybe some cash, gives you a chance to win a team pass to one of the local events. Maybe some Vanquish gear, and represent Vanquish at an event if you step your game up to that kind of level. We're gonna start. We're gonna launch Vanquish Academy to kind of further expand on Vanquish Cup, where it's gonna be leagues where we have people playing online, competing in these leagues to get into these bigger tournaments to qualify for bigger Vanquish Cups, bigger prizes, bigger events. Kind of little segue of kind of what Perfect Alliance is doing, but we want to take it to another level with that. And then on top of it is a big part of it is the Esports Prospects at the end of it is basically there's going to be a database for top amateur players or amateurs. I know Rod has a better word than
Novice.
Top novice players in esports to kind of get your name out there. Some people that are right on the cusp of being a pro, they haven't been given the opportunity. We'll be doing real-time analytics and stats and stuff on the website with a profile of each of those players that we've selected to be on the website. So as soon as one of those novice players is picked up to be on a professional team and gets that level of exposure, we replace them on the website with somebody that's next up on the list. So it's a great way for people to get exposure. You compete in these events for the LGU to kind of gain some notoriety. We'll get your stats from these events, which I believe we did for NJROD. Lewis and Rod and crew, I think they got some good stats from the events. But it's another way for exposure. Vanquish, we're all about our motto, vanquish the competition and helping people improve their game in all aspects of it. So whether that means going from novice to pro or going from a casual gamer to a competitive gamer or what the case might be, we want to kind of help and aid in doing every phase and aspect of that. So that's about all I got.
All right. A guy that's been pretty quiet here today, we're going to turn this over to MES Jake. He's going to tell us what's going on with everything, man. He's been a little quiet today, Jake. Let's go.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go off.
Let's go.
No, we're gearing up for our tournament. Not this weekend. My chair's falling down. Next weekend, it's Halo Call of Duty 20K, and that is February 19th through 21st. We're running a series of online tournaments right now. Actually, as you speak, we got our admins running those to get LGU points to get seated at all these events coming up. So if you want to get a better spot in the seed or get a better spot in the bracket through your seeding, go to meslive.tv, compete, and get your points because these are valid at NJROD, AGN, MES, and Game On as of right now, and more coming soon. But yeah, that's what we're working on. We're also looking at traveling here pretty soon. Start to travel around the country and do events everywhere. So that's cool, right? Our biggest thing is we're kind of stuck in Michigan right now. We've been here for a long time, and there's people that kind of helped us grow. So we think it's time to move on to different areas and expand that way because you can only saturate an area so much before people know they know what to expect. And you know there's an MES event like every month now. Every couple months, so if they miss one, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, we're gonna expand. We're gonna travel because that's how you grow. You got to move around. You got to establish new areas like Rod's doing. And yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Really excited. We're actually working hand in hand. I work at Cinch Gaming as well. I do the marketing and sponsorships and that sort of stuff down in Detroit. So I just got back from there a little bit ago. But we're really pumped to implement Cinch Tech, the smart controller coming out. Working on that for a few years now. Jim has over at Cinch, so we're working on that. That's coming soon. A a lot of our efforts are focused on that. We had the official reveal at the MES event in August, and that was our best, biggest event with several pro teams coming out like Elevate and Rise and Threes Up and TK and all those kind of guys in Envy. So yeah, we're really ramping up for things. I think this is going to be our biggest year yet. No doubt in my mind. Our online platform is getting established. Subscribers are starting to come in. People are actually paying to play on the site, which is really encouraging. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out of our corner. So just stay tuned.
All right,
stop
Dustin.
soon.
Dustin.
All right.
What do you got? What do you got for us?
All right. So before I get into what Game On's been up to and stuff like that, Jake, if you're cool with it, I think we should kind of address to the players about how the point system works.
Yes, sir.
Across all these events, how your stuff ties in and how my stuff ties in.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and do that, or do you want me to, or it doesn't matter? We can kind of both bounce around.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about your end and what they need when they go to these events.
Gotcha.
To link into this point system, and then
absolutely
I'll go ahead and talk about the player cards and stuff.
Absolutely. All right. So we at MES and LGU and everyone in this call, we're using a new point system for all our events for seeding, kind of almost directly like MLG Pro Points worked, right? You go online, you play in tournaments, except we think our system's a lot more fair. You don't spend $50 a tournament for your team to join a tournament to earn 10K points. It's $10 a player per month. Anyway, on that note, our LGU points tie in for every single event. So, so you go to a Game On event, you earn 10,000 points for your team. Those count at MES. So what you need to bring, either if you buy your pass online, you need to enter your MES ID as you buy your team pass. That will draw your points out and show these guys how to seed their bracket. If you go to a Game On MES or any event in this call, rather, bring your MES ID with you to the door. It's under dashboard on your profile. Bring that to the door. We can pull your seating information that way and seed the bracket accordingly, and then we can dish out your points after the event. So just make sure you keep track of your MES ID. It's under dashboard again. Really simple. Just bring that to the event with you.
Now, Dustin and Jake, you guys are going to work on some type of a video that's going to be out in a week or so. Correct, showing the players how to access that.
Some kind of tutorial, correct?
Yeah, a little small, quick 1 minute video.
Yeah, it'll put things a little bit more in perspective when you see it visually. But on top of what Jake said, we're launching our new site. Our plan, hopefully, is March 1st with the player cards, so that your MES ID that you're using in all these events will all sync up to our new website. And I think we actually just bought the domain today. It's going to be GameOnEsports.com. And basically, these player cards are going to have everything. It's going to tie into, what Vanquish is doing with the stats, anywhere from that to any points that you have accumulated through all these locals that you've attended. And it's also going to have a bunch of other fun little things, like you can, customize skins for your player cards, stuff like that. But once we show you visually, you'll understand exactly what we're talking about. But these player cards are going to be amazing in the fact of, say, if you want to go get sponsored by Vanquish, you'll be able to take this player card and say, look, this is where I've done, this is where I've played. You'll earn badges and achievements for finishing top 3 or finishing first, or, we're coming up with all these little badges that you're going to be earning that will be linked and attached to your player cards, so that when you actually win or do anything really awesome when it comes to your team, but it's all personalized. So no matter what team you play with, your player card is your player card. So just imagine, like, if you're a baseball player and you have a baseball card, that's pretty much exactly what it is. And you'll be able to access this. You'll have your own login and everything. You have an experience bar, so anytime that you play, you'll level up this experience bar to level up your entire rank within our website. There's just so much that goes into this player card and the points and everything, and it's almost like a completely separate competitive experience in itself. So it's something that's never been done, and I think it's going to really change the way everybody kind of feels about going to locals. And you're going to want to play in as many of these things as you can, because it's going to build your resume for going out and getting into the CWL, or whatever the next step is after you play with LGU. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Once we have this tutorial out and all that stuff, like I said, it'll be a lot more clear. But just keep in mind that your MES ID is pretty much your golden ticket when it comes to making sure that you're getting points for every single one of the LGU events. So make sure that just to get an ID, it's free, Jake, right? You just sign
absolutely
up to
free.
get a
Yep.
free ID. Okay.
In fact, most tournaments are free to join. So.
Yeah. So tons of free tournaments to join, and that's going to be that online for Jake's website, the MES Live. That's going to be the place to earn points online, and that'll carry over into LAN. So tons of stuff when it comes to that. We're really excited about it. We're working as fast as we possibly can to get these player cards out, but we don't want to launch something that's not going to work right, out the gate. So we're going to be launching the beta March 1st is our plan, or very, very soon after that. But we're developing it as we speak. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the points.
Awesome.
I don't think I missed anything, did I, Jake?
I don't think so.
All right. We're gonna do our last word right now. We're gonna go around the room for everybody to say whatever they need to say. Any upcoming things, exciting events, whatever. I'll start with myself real quick, and then I'll go around. I want to thank the community, the Pennsylvania community, for coming out. It was a blessing and honor, and it actually exceeded my expectations. So we're going to go full force with some different marketing methods there next time, and we're probably we're looking to go 50-60% more than what we did last time. As far as New York goes, I'm working on some stuff for New York. The venues up there are tough. I got a couple things lined up, but New York is pretty much my home base after I left out of New Jersey. So we're definitely going to be back there. We're going to rotate, and then we have some little satellite events that I'm going to start working on, co-hosting, until my buddy over here gets his feet wet and gets very established. But we're going to do some things up in Boston. So I'm going to turn it over to Sean Chase with his last word and talk about some of the things that we plan to do. Sean?
Yep. So Rod's gonna be co-hosting a couple events with me in Boston. Hopefully, first event is I think we're gonna do it a little bit after maybe 3 weeks after Rod's event in Pennsylvania, first week in May or second week in May. I just got a new venue spot. It's time to expand, and I'm trying to go from AVGL 10 teams to a new venue, maybe 20 to 24 teams. I've built the community for maybe about almost 2.5 years now, and it's just now I'm now at the point where I think it's in my best interest to just to get work together with Rod to get me to help me out with so I can expand to that next level. I have the community, and I just need to be able to get to that next level where I can get the equipment and stuff like that to be able to host these events by myself. I'm hoping that I know for a fact the PS4 crowd is going to be big, but as far as the Xbox One crowd is, I was a little bit nervous on that as well. I didn't really know if there was going to be an Xbox One crowd. I tried hosting an Xbox One league, and it didn't really go too well. And then when I went to Rod's event, I saw it flourish. So that's the plan. The plan is to hopefully host a 16 to 20 to 24 team event, hopefully, if we can. With Rod's help, of course. He's gonna come down here, and it's not only that, but it's just I want Rod help me with the community and help me establish some more connections up in New York and Pennsylvania. I'd like Rod to come down here and see the community that I have built. To see the work that I've put in. So kind of one hand washes the other. And it's one of those things where in the future I can I can bring teams to his events and vice versa. So we're just trying to, at this point, trying to help each other grow. I know a lot of people in this call are a little bit ahead of the game. I kind of entered a little later. I'm still new. But I am noticing that the demand in New England is huge. There's not really anybody barking up my tree right now. So now's the time to go after it, before somebody decides to take over, or decides to start their own land event around here. Right now the area isn't saturated, so I'm trying to get my feet on the ground so I become the name in New England, and I'm safe. You know what I mean? But like Rod said, it's tough. So you just gotta keep. Like I said, me and Rod are gonna work together, run a couple of tournaments, co-host a couple of tournaments, or I mean events together, and hopefully the turnout's really good. I can get a consistent team base of good competition. My only concern is, like I said, I want to run the event smoothly, and I don't think I'd have a problem with Rod helping me and teaching me as we go. Um, and hopefully I can move on from there. But like I said, I also agree with Jake from MES when he said that, changing your location all the time. You can't stay in one area and hope that, more and more teams are going to come and flock your way. Eventually it's going to get to the point where, like you said, you're just gonna drain your area of all players, and you're just gonna have to move on from that. And even if it's like Rod said, even if it's an hour and a half away from where your home base is, that makes a huge difference. So I am moving away.
Sean, are you going to be doing? You guys talked about it doing maybe. Are you guys just doing just COD, or are you thinking about incorporating something else maybe into that 24 team lane in Boston, or have you guys talked about that?
As for the first, not really. For the first one, I think we're just gonna do COD. I think we're gonna do 20 to 20. I'm gonna say probably about 20 teams. That's what I'm banking on. But if we can do 20 to 24, that'd be even better. Because
Is it
I
gonna be
think
just PS4, or is it gonna be Xbox too?
See, so that's the thing. We're gonna get 2 stations from Rod. I'm planning on getting a station by myself just from the community. That's how I started, and I don't think I should have a problem doing that. So I should have 3 stations of PS4s. But a lot of teams in the Boston area alone in Massachusetts have been asking me. So when's your next event, man? I'm really excited to play in an Xbox One event. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, if I can, I know I can. If I can get 1 station of Xbox Ones and monitors, I wouldn't have a problem running an 8 to 10 team Xbox One event alongside my PS4 event in May, around the second week of May. I don't have a problem with doing that. I don't know if I didn't really talk to Rod much about it yet. I was gonna, but if I can get 8 to 10 teams, I mean, I think we have a couple of months to promote it. I think I might be able to get 8 to 10 teams, or at least for Xbox One. Even a couple of the teams in New York that played in Xbox One, like Lewis said, Torch Gaming. They've been really close with me since after the event. They've been talking with me a lot, and they said that they would make the trip down. They would take a plane down to play in our event, the Xbox One event. I have like 3 or 4 teams that want to play in the Xbox One event, and just in Boston alone. So I think if with the right marketing, I think we would be able to do that. And I don't really want to stay in COD. Obviously I want to stay in COD, but I don't think that's the only game I want to delve into. I think that delving into other games is another good thing that should happen eventually. I'd like to eventually maybe get into Halo. Halo seems to be on the come up, but as of right now, like I said, if you get into a new game, you get into a new community. You have to start from the ground up. So for right now, I'm thinking that Call of Duty is going to be the main focus, and it's just a matter of what we want to do. In the next couple of days, I'll be deciding whether or not I want to incorporate an Xbox One Call of Duty tournament as well. So
all right.
Cool.
That's pretty much it on my end, guys.
All right, Lewis and Joseph, what do you guys got going? Last word.
I'll let Lewis go first.
Yeah, basically, right now we have a big week coming up for Vanquish Gaming. Our CS:GO team, like I said, is in this big tournament, CEVO tournament that could potentially take them into the pro status. And this weekend, obviously, UMG events in South Carolina is having a Challenger League Division, whatever they call. I think it's called Challenger Division Series. Which that too can propel our team into pro status. So that would be huge for us if both or one of those two teams could get past the brackets and achieve those levels of success. Other than that, you guys will be seeing more of me at Rod's events. You know, being the guy, the creepy guy walking around asking everybody to take pictures of their TV screens. But that's all gonna be for a good reason, and I think everybody that attends the events are going to be really happy when they could actually see their own profile and statistics for these events online. So I'm excited for that to start happening and accumulating more data.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Last word.
All right, so as he was saying about the CEVO Pro Placement Tournament, it's actually happening tonight. It's happening today. Europe, I think they've already wrapped it up. Our team, I don't know if they start at, well, it's 7 o'clock. It's going to be 7 o'clock here, 8 o'clock there, 8 o'clock Eastern. But they should start playing in about 20 minutes or so. So if anybody wants to tune in and watch them play the CEVO Pro Placement, that'd be awesome. Esports Prospects probably be starting up about the same time that Game On gets their website live. So that'll probably be around March 1st or so, late February, where we have the website decked out. I don't think I have much else. Lewis pretty much talked about all the stuff I was going to say, so I think that's about it. We haven't been we haven't had a pro team in about a year and a half since MLG Season 2, where we got second place in the playoffs. So it's been a while, and we're ready to get back there. So we have a couple opportunities this week and this weekend to make it happen. So.
All right, Jake. Last word.
Just send water to Flint.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Big. Amen.
That's all I want.
Amen. All right, Dustin, you going to take us home?
Yeah, I guess. Well, my event's coming up right after MES, after Jake's event. We got February 27th. Actually, we got two events coming up. February 26th, we're doing our all-nighter with Smash Brothers, Street Fighter 5, and two Smash Brothers actually, Smash Brothers 4. And Melee on the retro TVs, so that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
So if you're a Smash player, come on out for that. And then the very next day, it's gonna be a long weekend. The very next day, February 27th, we are doing our first ever Halo and Call of Duty event, and for the first time ever, incorporating PS4 for the Call of Duty crowd, 2v2 and 4v4 for both games. We should have one PlayStation console. We have a team limit of 10 teams. I don't want to oversaturate it. It's going to be at our LAN center. You can actually reserve passes right now at GameOnPartyPlanners.com, and for only $20, you can reserve a pass to lock yourself in for 2s and 4s. For Xbox, you just it's completely free to register. So that's coming up February 27th. And then moving on from that, we'll be doing probably something very similar the very following month. And we're going to start traveling a lot in the next probably 3 to 4 months. I've been talking to venues all over the place, and one of the main areas that I'm looking into is Northern Virginia.
Wow.
Fairfax, which is an untapped area. So if you live anywhere, Maryland, Virginia, that area, stay tuned for that. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about with that just yet, but I am working on a venue there, right next to George Mason University, actually. So right next to the college.
Come to Texas.
Man, so much stuff. What's that?
Said come to Texas. I'm in San Antonio.
Texas.
It's the most visited city in Texas. Austin's an hour away. That's why PAC South is here now. And then Dallas. There's more competitions in Dallas and Austin than 90% of other places. So.
That's far.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
But if we set up a system, it's a huge market. Plus, the other,
Yeah, we'll
the other
definitely look
second
at it.
largest market outside of Texas for gaming, apparently, is North Carolina, believe it or not. They have a lot of gaming companies out there.
Yeah, it seems like everybody just wants to be up in New York and New Jersey area for some reason. But
I know.
thanks for the
Everybody
information.
loves it.
I, li- I,
Love
li-
it
I
there.
like that. There are 50 states. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
It's
it is what
because
it
My
is.
it's
dad
because
lives in
NJROD.
Atlanta,
That's
so
what
going
it is.